Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg, post-Christmas podcast. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and wishing everybody out there a great New Year. Good morning, Hank.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Good. It's been a good week. It's been a real good week. How's it been for you?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Polls have been good for me, and I started off well Monday night. And, I had a tough loss last week in the NBA. I played a couple of games yesterday, and I had the loser in the. I came all the way back, and in the Portland, Utah game, and I'll tell you, Carmelo Anthony, they should leave on the bench. He single-handedly killed them, cost them the game.
Yeah, he's been around. How old is that guy?
Yeah, he's 35.
That's getting up there for NBA play.
Well, he took terrible shots, and he killed them on defense. He committed the dumbest foul I've ever seen before they brought the ball in, which gives them a free shot and the ball. And it cost me, I had taken 5 in the game, and 5.5 rather, and they won by 6.
Oh yes, that was a tough loss. That was a very tough loss.
Yeah, they came back from 23 points.
Well, it's hard to believe, Hank. We're at the end of the football season before, of course, the final week of the regular season, which is kind of a crapshoot in some cases because it's like preseason. You don't know who's going to play, who's not. Dan Quinn just got rehired by Atlanta. He's coming back next year. And they've been playing better the end of the year. They go to Tampa this week. There's a lot of games. Any of the games you want to talk about?
Yeah, well, let's start with that. They've been playing to save his job, and they won like 3 games in a row, and they've been playing very well. And they're playing a Tampa team where they've actually beaten them 3 straight there. And, they've played well on the road. And, they're not making mistakes. And they're, with Tampa, like a bunch of chocolates, you don't know what you're going to get with that quarterback except 28 turnovers, 28 interceptions, 31 touchdowns.
That's an amazing record.
Atlanta's playing to win and trying to get established a good background for going ahead for this coach.
Yeah, that's true. Got a big game in New York. The Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants. It's a game where Philadelphia wins and they win the championship of the NFC East. But the Giants, I don't think you can sleep on the Giants. I think they're going to be tough today or this week.
Well, Saquon is playing great. He had 189 yards rushing last week and another 90 yards receiving. And Jones threw 5 touchdown passes last week. They don't have any defense. That's the problem. But Philadelphia is so beat up. They got 5 defensive starters out. So this could be a close game.
Yeah, it might also be a high-scoring game if you have 5 defensive starters out, and then the other side has no defense either. But the line is kind of steady at 44.5 or 45 on the total. Pittsburgh goes to Baltimore. If Pittsburgh wins, they got a shot. If Tennessee loses, of course.
Baltimore is not going to play any of their regulars.
Well, the RG3 is going to start at quarterback there.
Yeah, so, but their star running back, Ingram, is out. He's hurt. They got to save him for the playoffs. And they're not playing many of their defensive guys either. He's not taking any chances.
No, he's playing it cool.
Of course, for Pittsburgh, you got duck.
Yeah, you got the duck.
That's a good game to avoid.
Miami goes to New England. There's the biggest spread on the board. New England's a 16-point favorite there.
Yeah, I know you think that's a lot, but I'm going to tell you something about New England. They need to win that game to maintain their position in the postseason. And the last two times Miami played there, they lost by 31 and 19 points.
That's good information to know, that's for sure. Any other games on the card that, well, the Tennessee-Houston game, as long as Tennessee wins, they'll win the wild card.
Well, I got to tell you something about that game. If Kansas City wins, game means absolutely nothing to Houston. And Watson has a bad back and a bad ankle, and the coach says he's going to play his guys. If he does, he's crazy. And the game is 3.5 now. If Kansas City wins, that game is going to 6 because it means absolutely nothing to Houston, and he won't play any of his guys. And the game means everything to Tennessee. So if you like Tennessee, get down now.
Absolutely, and the difference there is that you would think that game would be played at the same time, but Kansas City plays 3 hours earlier, and that is not what the NFL intended to do. They wanted to keep things at the same time where there were meaningful changes in attitude. But that's one they missed. Because
I talked to one of the odds makers at one of the top sports books in town, and he told me that game is going to go skyrocketing if Kansas City, if it looks like Kansas City's going to win. They'll change that number fast.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah, now would be the time. You like Tennessee. If you're inclined to bet Tennessee, you should do it now, not later. For sure. Now, the Chicago game's interesting. Minnesota has, they've gone from a 1-point favorite to a 2-point dog and 2.5 in other spots. Minnesota obviously is not going to be playing very many people today or Sunday.
Yeah, they don't need the game at all.
Any other game on the card that got interesting notes like that on?
Well, Oakland, Denver. Oakland, depending on what Kansas City does, Oakland, I don't think that matters. I think Oakland still has a chance to make the playoffs.
They're alive.
And, San Francisco, Seattle's a big game.
Huge game. You got Marshawn Lynch and back in the lineup now. He came back for the Week 17 and the playoffs. That's a big emotional boost for Seattle, but Seattle's a really banged up team.
Yeah. Their offensive line can't protect Russell Wilson. He got sacked 5 times last week. And he's going to be running for his life against that San Francisco defense. San Francisco's getting healthy in his secondary. And, they've got a good running game. And Seattle's defense is a mess right now. They're missing all the top guys. And they were hoping that Clowney would come back, but he may not. So if he doesn't play and Diggs doesn't play, and they're not in good shape.
No, it's really unusual to lose as many players as they have, and then the backfield, they lost three running backs in the last 3 weeks.
Well, that's why they signed Lynch.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite a week.
Hey, the biggest games of the weekend actually are college games on Saturday, where you have Oklahoma, LSU, and Clemson, Ohio State. And you're going to see some great quarterback play in both of those games. You got Lawrence going for Clemson against Ohio State. And Dabo has been really getting his team ready for that one. Ohio State doesn't play well in bowl games recently. And then LSU, Oklahoma, that should be a high-scoring game. And you got, Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, going for LSU against Oklahoma's quarterback. So you're going to be seeing some exciting football on Saturday in the college ranks in those two games, playing for the final, the rights to play in the final.
Yeah, you're right. There's two really great games, 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock our time. And then earlier in the day, 9 o'clock in the morning our time, Iowa State, Notre Dame, Memphis, and Penn State. It's going to be a great football weekend, pro and college. Anything in basketball that you want to touch on? Or horse racing, is anything going on there?
Yeah, opening day Saturday at Santa Anita, and they were going to open Thursday, and they canceled the racing Thursday and Friday because of the weather, and so they're going to have 7 stakes races at Santa Anita on Saturday, but it's hard to get interested in that when you've got 2 championship college football games going on. So they've moved the start time up to 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at Santa Anita, because, in recognition of the football game, thinking that people won't come out there. They'd rather stay home and watch the football.
And that is true, and that's what everybody's going to be doing. Anything else you want to cover? I know you've got a busy day today, Hank. Anything?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I've got an early dialysis day, and then, well, there's a lot of bowl games today, and there's some pretty good games. Michigan State, Wake Forest. You got Oklahoma State, Texas A&M should be a real good game. Texas A&M is extremely well coached, going against Oklahoma State team that can score. And you got USC, Iowa. That'll be an interesting game. Air Force, Washington State. A lot of good games today.
Yeah, there are. There's 5 games. I've got a couple plays already out on those games. And the people go out there to jimfeist.com, the website, and you can get Hank's plays and my plays. And Hank, if there's nothing else, I know you got to run. And again, I want to wish everybody a great new year, a healthy and prosperous one. And Hank, we're closing out. You have a great weekend and a new year as well.
Okay, I'm looking for the Giants to beat Philadelphia for the simple reason that means that Dallas will get in the playoffs, and they'll be there to haunt me for another week. Yesterday on the show at ESPN, they ran my last 7 picks on Dallas, which were all wrong. So we said that yes, that means that the sports books are going to make me their man of the year, and the presenter will be Garrett.
Very funny. If they get into playoffs, they won't last long, but it'll be interesting.
You never know. They're going to be home, and they could be playing either San Francisco or Seattle at home.
Well,
who knows?
If they're home in the playoffs, I'll be betting against them. So they're
you know what? They got the talent to pull something off. Hey, I've been wrong every week on Dallas.
You just said that 7 in a row. All right, Hank. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and Happy New Year.
You too, Jim. All the best to you.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye. Everybody go to jimfeist.com for Hank's plays and mine, and Happy New Year to everyone out there.